you can't operate an organization on just A players, first of all, right? So you need A players and B players, and in an organization, sometimes you need some C players, right? You get beyond that and you probably have some challenges. But what I have found is this was something I had to struggle with for a long time until a good friend of mine, the former head of culture and human resources at World Vision US, actually made the case to me. But what we found is that as a leader, there's really kind of 3 or 4 boxes you've got to check to build the culture, right? People need to know what the expectations are. So not just the corporate expectation as a whole, right? This is what we're about. But individually, this is what your role is about. And these are the expectations of your role. This is what success looks like. And then next, even though you might know what success looks like, I've got to make sure that you know how to be successful. So just because you can see it and say, okay, I know success looks like this, you might not know how to get there, right? So my role is also to make sure that you're trained and coached and developed to do that. And then the third one is I need to make sure as a leader that if there are roadblocks, so roadblocks could be systems, they could be outdated policies, it could just be a policy that's in conflict with the vision that you've set, right? Could be, technology, all sorts of different things. But as a leader, my other role is to make sure that I'm going in and removing those roadblocks as fast as possible so that when you know the expectation and you know how to achieve the expectation, there's not an additional impediment to you actually doing so, right? And so those I think are big. The other ones are accountability starts with me as the leader. So I have to be willing to raise my hand and say, I failed here. I need to be accountable for this. Here's what happened. Here's how I'm going to resolve it. I need to be open and willing to take feedback from others and to have those conversations in a healthy way so that when someone says to me, hey, I think you're off base here, or I didn't really like the way this conversation went, I don't turn that around and attack them or blame someone else or anything like that. But I actually say, gosh, you're right. After thinking about it, I totally messed that up. I'm so sorry. Let me fix it, right? When we as leaders model that behavior, we set the expectation and the tone for the organization that that's the kind of environment we're going to accept, right? When we don't, we set the expectation that if you come to me with feedback, I'm going to turn around and throw it back at you, or I'm going to snipe at you behind your back, or any number of different things, right? So I think those are the big ones for me.